So lately I've been scrolling through social media and I saw a certain topic popping out really many times and I think I should make a video on it. So my channel is usually about Japanese language and I teach you Japanese language, but this time I just wanted to talk about the motivation behind the language. So there are many videos like how I got to JLPT N1 in 2 years, or how I managed to get JLPT N3 in 3 months, how I got fluent in Japanese in just half a year. And as a Japanese learner myself, I'm still not at the best level, even though my videos about Japanese language may sound perfect in the explanation and many people think the same when they watch my videos. I just want to share my experience when learning Japanese, and also the most important part about this video, I want to show you that it's not as easy and as perfect and as fast as it sounds in social media. Right now I'm learning Japanese for about 2.5 years. I just learned some hiragana and katakana, like really just half of it, and then I thought about, okay, maybe I should take it more serious and start studying Japanese. But I didn't really know that much about Japanese, but I thought, yeah, I can go to university and there are teachers, they will teach me, and it will be a much easier way to learn Japanese. So that's why I decided to learn Japanese at university, along with many other reasons, but that was one of the reasons. And I went to university and like I was kind of shocked when I got there, like honestly. I got there and then I heard about some person going to Japan for 1 year for working holiday. And another person told me that they already have the JLPT N2 level and they still started studying Japanese. I mean, till today I just wonder why you should study Japanese if you already know the language. But anyways, I started to recognize that there are many people that just have more basic knowledge just from the start. And also I have a fond memory where there was like a beginning week at the university and you can meet new people, right? So I met a person and he just knew all of the most basic kanji, even though the class didn't start. But I thought, hey, it's not my business, so I learned Japanese for myself, but I started to recognize in the Japanese language course that many people with already knowledge before were much better than me. And when I had some questions about it and I was struggling with a certain grammar, they already knew how to use it perfectly. And I have to say that sometimes this made me feel it dragged me down a bit. But I was just thinking about, hey, don't focus on the other people, focus on yourself. They have more experience than you, they already went to Japan, of course their Japanese will be better. So I learned like kanji every day and I learned vocabulary and I learned grammar and every day we had Japanese courses. And even though in school my grades in languages were actually the worst grades, all of my subjects, I just thought if I just keep pushing every day, it will get better. So I watched many videos too on YouTube, like how you get better and what kind of trick you can use, what applications you can use. And then there was a time where at my university we have something called like meet and greet, I think in English. And you can meet some other study colleagues of you, but most importantly it is a meet and greet in my country between Germans and Japanese. And mostly those meet and greets are in Japanese. There are also some people that know German, but mostly it is about Japanese. So I was like studying for I think 3 months. And I learned like hajimemashite and pikta desu and yoroshiku onegai shimasu. And I thought, yeah, I know something. I know how to introduce myself. I know how to ask your name, like onamae wa nan desu ka or something. And I was like really confident. I was like saying, okay, you learned much, you put in the hours every day. And then I went to that meeting and I just couldn't say anything. So I was just sitting there and there were other people from higher semesters. And I started to speak my Japanese that I learned, but I realized really fast that textbook Japanese and real Japanese is kind of different. And also that I couldn't talk as much as I thought I could. And I was just thinking, why? I mean, I learned so much, and I mean, it's just 3 months, but I thought like some basic conversations, I should be able to do them, right? And that kind of dragged me down. Because also all the people, like not all the people, you know, but the most people around me already went to Japan or already studied the Japanese language course for 2 years, or they had an exchange semester. So like just in that moment I saw everyone speaking fluently around me, but for me it was just like, wow. I realized the gap I have between my skills and other people's skills. And yeah, I think that was like one of the toughest time in my study course. I really thought, can I even get fluent in Japanese sometime? Will I get fluent in Japanese? How long will it take? Or will I never reach that point? You know, I was like thinking really much about, okay, can I manage this? Can I get up? And then I don't know, I just went back to my room at that evening, and like the next week was kind of hard, but I mean, it's always when I feel stressed about something or I feel I don't know how to do it, then I just try to be busy, not to think about something. So I just said, okay, if I just keep thinking about it, I just learn Japanese to not think about how bad my Japanese is, basically. So that was my plan. So I put in the hours every day. And I learned for 2 years, and I had many, many encounters after this where I met Japanese people and I couldn't fully understand. But sometimes I heard one vocabulary and I could understand one vocabulary more. Or sometimes I just asked Japanese persons, like, what is this? Or what does it mean? So every time I met a Japanese person, every time I looked at my textbooks, I thought to myself, okay, you know just a bit better. You went one step further. And then like 2 years passed, I think, and my exchange semester in Japan started. And I was like really nervous because I was thinking, okay, my study course in Japan, there I will have Japanese language course too. And there I will meet people from all around the world. And also when I'm in Japan, like when you're around Tokyo, you can kind of get around with English, but the most things you don't understand if you don't know Japanese. For example, I'm from Germany, and I think in Germany many people can kind of talk English, at least the younger generation. And also when you go to other countries inside Europe, you can get along with English kind of. But Japan, it's not that easy, I think. So I went here and I was like really struggling. And I remember my first night here in Japan. I came pretty late, so I took the last train back to my hotel. And it was like, I think 2 weeks before my university started, so I was at Tokyo. And I sat in this train and I thought, wait, I can understand what the train person is saying. And then, I mean, it's kind of bad to do it, so. But I was just listening to the talks of the people around me and I was like, wait, I can kind of understand what they're talking about. And when I went to my hotel, I thought, okay, like, this was something different. In the hotel, they speak polite Japanese, you know, in the service. So I was like, wait, but I will not understand the polite Japanese. I didn't study it that much at that time. And I could kind of handle the situation. I mean, I couldn't understand everything, but I could get a glimpse of what the person was trying to tell me. Like, this is your room key, and there's your room, and you need to go there. So this was like a time where I thought, wait, why all of a sudden? So one thing I want to tell you about Japanese language, at least in my experience, like you learn every day. And you put in like 1% in every day. But you don't feel like something is changing. Like for those honestly, for those 2 years, I didn't feel like I progressed that much. And then all of a sudden, like this, it hit a point where I could kind of understand the conversations of Japanese people and the things around me. And that's like something I want to tell you. I mean, there are many videos and topics about it, but if you put in like 1% every day, like not 100% this day and 70% this day and 50% this day. If you really put in 1% every single day, like I learned vocabulary and kanji and grammar every day because I had my Japanese courses. And also when I was sitting in the train, I thought maybe it's a waste of time if I just look out the window. I mean, it's okay to look out the window, but I just thought it's a waste of time. So I always learned my vocabulary cards. And then in Japan, I realized that the 1% I put in every day got to some point. So, like if you take 1% times 2 years, then you can see it has a much bigger effect than if you put 100% sometimes. And I'm certainly not as fast as the most Japanese learning people. So I don't know, I will not get to I didn't get to the N1 level in 2 years. Like maybe that person was just smart or they were talking like bullshit. But anyway, it's not that important. Just to let you know, it's like many people that learn Japanese have some self-confidence issues. Like, what should I do? Or how will it get better? And will I even reach a certain level? And I can just tell you, just put in the effort every day and eventually it will get to some point. And yeah, so that's how I got to Japan. And even nowadays, I still have the feeling that I don't understand something fully. And when I have a phone call with someone or when I am at the university, even on those times, I kind of feel like I don't understand everything. But it's okay, because I know that the 1% I put in every day will eventually benefit me. And also there's one really nice point I want to emphasize about language learning, not just for Japanese. And it's that you can learn it in such a practical way. Like before, when I was learning like psychology, soon it got really, really abstract. Like at the end it was like chemistry and biology, and I felt so far from my subject. But when I talk Japanese, I can literally watch a video and you can put on the subtitles. Or you can watch a Netflix movie and put on English or German or whatever subtitles you want. Or when you maybe don't feel like you want to learn Japanese right now, then you just listen to a Japanese song. And you can just hear some words and think, it was this word, right? It had this meaning. And he used it in this grammar, you know? Like, in these ways. Or even when you make Japanese friends, you can just ask them sometimes. And I never made any bad impression when asking Japanese friends about, can you explain me this vocabulary? Or what does it mean? They always try to help me and explain me things. And even though I was not close with them or it was a Japanese person I met the first time, they always helped me. And I think they will help you too. So, and there are also many language learning apps around. You can find like some language partners from abroad and just text with them on your phone. And if you really don't know about the translation, just put it in Google Translate. And then you can see, this word means this. And then you have the small steps every day. So, yeah. I cannot take the effort from you and study your kanji or study your vocabulary or study your grammar. It is just a thing that you can do. And I cannot take it from you, even if I would like to, because I know myself how hard it can be sometimes. But just be sure that there are many people like you that struggle with language learning, that struggle with Japanese learning. Also in my university, I know that from the beginning, many people also quit the study course because it was just too much for them. But just believe me, just try it. Just try it out and then eventually it will go somewhere. And there was also a reason why I started my YouTube channel, why I started teaching people about language learning. Because I thought, I don't know, when I learned Japanese, I kind of wanted to have some Japanese language partner or something that helped me to keep up. And yeah, I think if you feel down and you don't know how to learn Japanese, just watch my videos sometimes and maybe you can get some energy to study. And even if you have questions, just ask me. So it is beneficial for me because I can reproduce what I learned and you can have someone that helps you with learning Japanese. So yeah. Yeah, this was kind of a one take. I don't know how long this video got, but thank you for listening. Have a great day. また今度よろしくね。